Hello, race fans, and welcome to another night of OSCA action here on 3Wide TV with tonight's presentation of the 3Wide TV 120 here from the home of 3Wide TV in the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. Should be an action-packed night. I'm Ty McIntosh, joined as always by Cameron Rich and Carlos Acosta on the controls. And last week we had a night of some pretty close finishes. It was actually really insane. The lowest margin of victory in a combined night of OSCA action we've ever had. Dylan Thomas and David Westergreen won out there in Alabama. And they set themselves up for a pretty good run to the playoffs. And speaking of those playoffs, Cam, you know, we're getting close to it. We got 3 weeks, including tonight, before the playoffs. So why don't we get a look at those team standings and the driver standings? I think that the rumor is that we might have a driver locking themselves into the playoffs tonight.
You are correct. I believe Daniel Gore, it was something like a 15th place finish he needs to lock himself in. So, I mean, long shot, I know, with Daniel Gore getting a 15th place finish here, something to lock himself in. So, him, Dylan Thomas, AJ Plemons, your top three, followed by Beers, Westergreen, Miller, Staff, Scarborough, Hackathorn, Evans, rounding out your top 10 there. And still South Shore, Mixture Rich, and Redux at the top three. South Shore had a great weekend there in Talladega, and they actually were able to, I believe, jump from third all the way up to first in the team points. They were, I believe it was Redux, TMR, and then South Shore before last week. So we were talking about that before Talladega. That is a very good track for those types of big swings, and we saw it there. But back to normal here tonight at Homestead Miami Speedway. It's going to be one of those hot, low grip, slick races, and I think tire saving and just kind of knowing when to use your stuff is going to be the name of the game here tonight.
Absolutely, and right now practice is about to wrap up. We're about to start qualifying some guys that are at the top of the leaderboard right now. Jake Scarborough, Matt Hackathorn, Darren Staff. All guys more on the Jake Scarborough, Matt Hackathorn side that are comfortably in the playoffs right now, but maybe looking for some good nights tonight to add to that bubble as we get ready to roll for qualifying. And we've got about 10 minutes of open quali. Looking at the team standings, you mentioned South Shore taking it over. This is the first time that I think they've led the team points this season, if I'm correct. I could be wrong, though. Redux did start off pretty hot to start the season. Then again, they could have been passing it around, and I maybe just haven't remembered. There's been a lot of action. There's been a lot of good racing. As everybody's going to scramble off of pit road here. They're going to get ready to go. What do you think we're looking for tonight, Cam? Are we going to see the top side dominate? You're going to see the middle? I think we're going to see everything personally. I've talked to a lot of guys. The quote in the garage, sorry, Carlos, I'm going to get this out of the way now in the first couple minutes here. The truck is tighter than a nun's cunt. So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to progress. I'm sure that we're going to see the tire wear play a huge factor. And everybody, I mean, this is everybody coming off the pit road right now. This is insane.
Yeah, everybody right there. And I think I was talking to some of the drivers too, and I think really, so we're going to have a daytime start for half number one. I think it's 3 p.m. and then a nighttime for half two. I think it's 7 or 8 is what I saw. But that's really going to play a big factor in how these trucks drive in traffic and really out in clean air. Because I think what we're probably going to see in half one is the high side, particularly 1 and 2. After a few laps are on these tires, it's probably going to be the fast line around. So you're going to see the trucks migrate up to that, right up next to that outside wall. And I think in the second race, when we have nighttime conditions, it's going to be a little bit more, you're going to see trucks kind of roll in the bottom, because I think the speed's going to be down there. But sometimes I'm wrong. I like to see how this will play out. It is kind of 50-50 on how the track rubbers in sometimes here at Homestead. So it's been a while since I actually watched or was in a truck race here. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, and as far as, you know, we've talked about the playoffs, it's going to be a huge thing that we're going to be looking forward for these next couple weeks. As we're going to see a lot of shift. We might see some guys that are outside right now bump their way in. Homestead is 1.5 miles, and the only 1.5 miles that is in the playoffs is Charlotte. So, you know, you look at the other tracks in the playoffs, Montreal, we got a road course. We have Watkins going next week, so that's huge for that. And then we wrap it up in Indy for the regular season. So the track that really bears some similarities there would be New Hampshire. So these next 3 weeks are going to be huge for these guys, not just in making the playoffs, but getting themselves comfortable and acquainted to these trucks before we have eliminations every week. And if you have one bad night, your playoffs are going to be over. So this is where you've got to get those mistakes out of the way. As we see Austin Beers jump to the top of the qualifying board with Gilberto Javier Gomera jumping up there as well.
It looks like right now the watching Austin Beers on his lap, it looks like in turns 1 and 2, he kind of ran the high line, but kind of with the draft these guys got going on, you see everybody's kind of just still trying to find that draft. It does make a pretty big difference here in the truck on a qualifying lap, but I saw him run the high line. I think Gilberto was probably on the bottom, so yeah, he was on the bottom through 1 and 2. So kind of just still searching for grip out there, seeing where the actual the fastest line is. It really is a 50-50 toss at 1 and 2, whether you're going to be running that high side or the bottom. Really not ever going to be in the middle. Middle doesn't have a lot of speed, but the bottom and the high side in 1 and 2 is pretty good.
And I think also, if you have a car in front of you, you may find it a little more beneficial to run the top to get even more speed down the back straightaway to carry yourself into 3 and 4, or you might like the other way where you can kind of even out. If you run the bottom, then you'll get that speed back out of 1 and 2. Homestead is really weird like that. There's not really one fast line. Obviously, the wall is pretty dominant. That's something that we're going to see all night tonight. But, we're still going to see the bottom play a factor, especially early on with tire saving. One set of tires in the pits for 40 laps. If you're not saving your tires and we get an untimely yellow, you're going to want to be a little bit better than the guys in front of you. So keep in mind that we might see these guys looking out in front. If somebody's pushing really hard, these guys might get conservative. And it's going to bump around, and that's going to be something to look at all night.
Yep, we're getting down to about 5 minutes here in qualifying. I think we're going to go ahead and get our picks out of the way here. Got everybody pulling up here, and
Neely boy,
go
who
first.
you got?
Like a
Me?
Yeah.
Give me Noah Brown.
I don't wanna.
What are you gonna...
You know what?
Picking the
I
guy on
hate you.
pole, how original.
Oh, is he
hate
on
you
pole?
for it.
I just haven't picked him yet, so I went with him.
I hate you for it because that was my my pick. Thank you
Is he
for
really
that.
on pole? Sweet.
And
I'm gonna go with AJ Clemens.
Lemons.
Sam, who you got?
I'm going to go with my driver tonight, Mr. Austin Beers.
With Austin Beers. I like that pick. TP, who you got?
Oh, the first half race winner, Gilberto.
Oh man, sure that is a pick. Carlos, who you got?
Dude, I was gonna pick Alberto, man. And
Well, now there's two of us that had it.
What's too damn bad?
I had it set up and everything. All right, well, I'll take the man who is on your screen. On your screen right now. Give me Adam Peeler.
I don't hate that pick actually.
Roof.
Ty, who you got?
He's not looking too good on the board right now, but he'll find his way up there. Give me 10 bits, Mr. James Miller.
I like that.
I am going to pick 73.
He's gonna go with Kynan Jones. There you go. Boom, that's half one picked out of the way, boys.
Good job, all.
All right.
Thank you. Have a great time.
All right, well, that is our picks for half number 1. We'll re-rack them for half number 2. Looking at those broadcast points, I just want to point out, I was down pretty bad last week.
You always are.
Yeah, I'm, well, you know what? Yeah, I'm not even.
You
I'm
set
not even
yourself
gonna
up for
counteract
that.
statement.
Why would you even say that?
I walked right into that, but I didn't say the popular word last week, which unironically started with a P. We're looking at you, Cam. But I made a pretty good gap up last week. I looked at my picks for the rest of the season, not looking too confident as far as what's there for me. But we're gonna rally. We're gonna look at it. We're gonna analyze. We're gonna try to do our best. I'm pretty much saying right now, I don't think I'm winning this broadcaster championship. Lock it in. But 3 minutes left in qualifying. AJ Plemons jumps up to the top of the board with Noah Brown second. Dallas Myhand looking for a good run tonight. He's third right now. Daniel Gore, P7. Tom's Capuano, 10th. Looking at some notable names. Heel Zach Evans, he's down there in 11.
Good lap for Dallas. My end up there in P3 right now.
Yeah, it's
That's,
looking for a
times are
good
pretty
one.
close.
Oh my, wow, I didn't even look at that. Holy moly. 3302, 33027, 33048. 33.05. There's a 32.9 from Matt Hackathorn jumping to the top of the boards.
That is a big lap for him.
That's
So we're getting to the end of the session now. There might be a couple less. Dustin Dewar with a big lap, 33.010 up to speed 2. Yep. 2 minutes to go, so everybody's kind of getting their last couple laps here. Austin Beers
with the 94.
Kind of feels like F1 qualifying now, doesn't it?
Yeah, everybody putting down the heaters here with under 2 minutes to go. James Miller's going to come out of 3 and 4, see if he's got anything. Those Team Hard trucks are obviously 1 and 2 right now. James Miller moves up a little bit, 33.068, just outside the top 10.
Talking to James before the race, he said he didn't have any short run speed whatsoever, so he probably is going to be pretty happy with that, considering he usually says he's going to start about P30. He usually doesn't start about P30, but that's kind of the short run pace he usually thinks to have, so see how that plays out tonight. We've got 1 minute to go. That's about 2 laps here at Homestead if you are lucky. If anyone can throw a big lap up here in the very end. I think, the sun's coming back out. We kind of had some clouds roll over just a few minutes ago. I think that might be all she wrote for getting those last 12. Gilberto, as I was saying that, he comes up to the top of the board with a 32.905, so he is almost 2/100th quicker than Matt Hackathorn right now. It's a big lap for him.
Absolutely. Somebody that, we talked to him at Talladega. He finished second. He was really bummed about that. But the week before I had mentioned, because I think he was our, somebody declined an interview, and he was the guy that we brought up because everybody, was proud of how he ran that week. And maybe he's getting some momentum going. I mean, what better way to get close to the playoffs and try to bump your way in, right? I mean, you almost win Talladega. You come out and you set on pole at Homestead. See what you can do. Aaron Evans will cross the line. See if he improves. Don't believe he did. He did not. A little slower that time around. And that is going to wrap it up for qualifying. So, Gilberto, he takes the pole here. And that number 99, Miss Goodies machine.
Good for him. That was a big lap. Beat a lot of really fast trucks out here tonight. I mean, look at Austin Beers, Matt Hackathorn, Daniel Gore. Those are some heavy hitters that he was able to beat.
And we'll round out your top 4. Noah Brown is going to roll off 5th in the number 65 machine. Dustin Dewar rolls off 6th. Good start for him. AJ Plemons and Thomas Capuano will make up row number 4. Dallas Myhan, Santiago Barry, they will roll off on row number 5.
James Miller rolls off in P13 next to Jake Scarborough. David Westergreen, one of your winners from last week, he rolls off in 15th next to Zach Evans in 16th. Darren Staff rolls off in 17th next to his teammate Aaron Evans in the 48. He rolls off 18th. And 19th is going to be Adam Peeler next to Dylan Thomas in P20. Caden Tufts rolls off in P21. We'll have some news on him later in the broadcast. Dakota Pignataro rolls off P22. Dave Carpenter P23. And Patrick Hehe rolls off in P24. Only one more truck in the field. We'll get to him, and that's Kynan Jones in P25. Shotgun on the field.
You did skip an entire row of Ray Bracey and Neil Rupp, but that's okay. They roll off 11th and 12th.
My bad.
I was like, oh no, Bojo. Speaking of Bojo, if you guys are following Bojo on YouTube, I believe the word was given that we should have a new Quick Shifts episode up tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. I'm as sad as I am that we don't have the opposite of Quick Shifts up lately. I'm kind of glad that we don't, because last week would have been a nightmare.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I could explain that one to the girlfriend, but we digress.
The more that we give content for the other one, the less we put time toward, or we're able to put time towards Quick Shifts. So actually, that number 7 truck is really nice. I love that paint scheme, the chrome and kind of sunset, sunburst orange and pink on it. Really nice look there.
Aaron Evans in the YouTube chat letting us know that he came from a banquet. Were you born at a banquet? Is that what you're telling me? Or did you just show up from a banquet? We got to be more specific than that, sir. Is this I was born by the river? Or is it not? Because I don't know. Yeah, I got pipes, ladies and gentlemen.
When's the mixtape dropping?
November 20 never.
Look at my cam, he says. All right. Let's put the cam up. Aaron Evans. Where's Oh, look at this. Number one stud. That is a distinguished gentleman.
That is, dude, look at him.
Looks
got
like
the
he looks
tie
like
on, got the
Kenny
flow
G's
going.
stunt double.
He looks like Tyler Glass now.
Wives.
He looks like
Oh, I
Tyler
can see
Glass
that.
now with that
Yeah, I can
flow
see
going.
that.
Look at him. Suited up.
Wonder if that hair provides extra down for us when he's when it's blown along in the wind.
I do not want to imagine how sweaty he's going to be in about 20 minutes. So,
Why are you
thoughts and
imagining
prayers
how
to that
sweaty he
suit. Because he's in a suit, Carlos. No. Pace car's off. We're not playing into this right now. Gilberto Javier Gomez is going to lead to the restart zone. We are green here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Austin Beers and Daniel Gore get a pretty good jump. They're going to be side by side going into 1 and 2. Matt Hackathorn a little bit further off of Gilberto. Danny's going to give some room, and Austin Beers going to get a little free there in the middle. That's going to open the door for Gilly. He's still free wiggling that thing around. So track temp is a problem. They're going to be 3 wide for the third spot. How about 5 wide for the lead, maybe? Coming off of turn 2.
My goodness, 4 wide down the backstretch. They were 3 and then they were looking 4. I think AJ Clemens was looking for a move but thought better of it, and they somehow ended up 4 wide. Now Austin Beers able to get the lead all to himself, followed by Noah Brown. Now those two have history, so look for some fisticuffs to come if they are able to get together on the racetrack. Look at that gaggle of trucks. We got 3 and trying to look for 4 wide here. Further on back, there's Bojo, and he's running behind Dustin Dewar. Dustin Dewar has lost a few spots here. Falling back to look like the 8th spot, so about 2 or 3 down on him. Ooh, somebody in the wall there.
Big wiggle from Dallas Myhan.
He
That's
saw
gonna
the
put him in
smoke
a-
off of his right rear, so he was very close to the wall, but able to keep it straight there.
Almost went 4 wide once again there. Santiago was looking a little bit further out in front. Austin Beers is still your leader over Noah Brown and Daniel Gore. A little bit actually, Daniel Gore's going to overtake him for the 2nd spot. So Beers, Gore, Brown, Clemens, Hackathorn, your top 5. Gilly kind of got mugged there, and I'd have to imagine that that's probably just the heat of the track. We saw Beers start to struggle in the middle, and then Gilly must have got a little loose off of 2, and that just opened the door for everybody to pounce. So he falls down to the 6th spot. He's now got to try to fend off that huge gaggle. Starts with Thomas Capuano back there. Towards the front, Daniel Gore's underneath Austin Beers through 3 and 4. Beers is going to wash up a little bit. That's what we're going to see, though. When you carry that speed up to the wall, you do get a little bit of that run from the exit, so he's going to be able to pull and lead this lap over Daniel Gore. Get a right on board here with Noah Brown on that Redux Nuts machine.
Oh, no cam from Noah.
That's
Yeah, they are. Yeah, the side by side in front of him. Noah Brown, you can't really do much right here. Just got to kind of stay in line and maybe make some room for your teammate. The 69 of Daniel Gore. He's still trying to get around that 19 of Beers. Not really easy to make that pass on the inside because you see right there that truck just kind of wants to slide up, and when there's another truck next to you, it's kind of hard to do that. But Noah Brown, we're on board with him. He's actually under fire from the 67 of AJ Clemens. Clemens was very aggressive on that initial start of the race. He was actually the one who made it 3 wide initially, and then kind of put Matt Hackathorn in a position he kind of forced him 4 wide down the backstretch. So we know he's going to be looking for a move here pretty shortly, but that battle for the lead still going on. Daniel Gore is right on that left rear corner of the 19. Surprised there wasn't, we've seen some netcode issues here lately. That was a bit of a lottery as to whether that was going to end in a crash or not, but good that they were able to keep it straight.
Talk about 2 teams that have a little bit of animosity, not really teams, but drivers. The 67 has had some history with the Redux drivers this season. We're going to see him get into the back of Daniel Gore there, trying to move him up the racetrack. Daniel's going to be able to fight him off for now, but those guys have some animosity, so I would not expect much other than some hard racing here, and maybe not much room given. As you see the 3 wide TV multicam there, we look at Dallas Myhan, David Westergreen, James Miller. They're going to be 3 wide. That just outside the top 10 for the 11th position. Just in front of them, Bojo inside the top 10 now. Battle for the lead still goes on. AJ Clemens to the inside of Daniel Gore now. They are running each other tight as we head into 1 and 2. Danny's going to take the top side, look for the run out of the corner. Beers is going to take the middle. We might have a 3 wide fight going into 3 and 4 if Danny's able to get the run out of 1 and 2. I'm sorry.
And Noah Brown a little bit sideways. There's Daniel Gore giving a big shot down to the 19 of Austin Beers, shoving that truck way into the corner there. Looks like he's going to be able to get it woed down there. And those 2 trucks, the 67 and 69, still going at it really hard. AJ Clemens, the short tracker, kind of was treating this one like a short track just a minute ago. He gave that 69 a shot into turn number 1, and I can't imagine Daniel was too pleased about that. So see if they get a little bit heated later on the race. But AJ Clemens, as we were talking, he's actually looking for the lead himself on the bottom of that number 19 of Beers. So looking down the backstretch to get the lead himself.
Pierce has been adamant on protecting the lead from the top side. He hasn't had anybody really challenge him on the bottom just yet. AJ Clemens is going to change that side by side through 3 and 4. They're running each other pretty tight. Clemens is going to get the momentum on the bottom. He's going to pass Austin Beers, and he's going to lead lap number 8.
And I'm not sure if that 19 is saving or that 67 is just really quick through the center of the corner, but definitely seeing good speed. He's able to get to that gas really early. Look right there. Just kind of gapped the 19 by about a half a truck through the center of the corner alone. But we know Austin Beers, he knows how to save these tires. Maybe a little bit later on, he's actually going to be under fire from Gore here again, but now for P3 or P2.
All these guys are fighting for the lead. Look just on the 7th position of your ticker there, ladies and gentlemen. Jake Scarborough started 14th. He is on the move, doing a pretty good job of staying conservative. He loves Homestead, Miami. He's up 6 spots right now. Make that 7 now as he gets around Gilberto Javier Gomera. He's going to be somebody to watch here as we get into the middle of this race.
A little bit further on back, there's Caden Tufts there. He's currently running in P17. Let's go ahead and just take a moment to congratulate him. He's going to be running in a NASCAR truck race. Posted on his Facebook a couple of days ago that he's going to be at Richmond and I believe Bristol and Martinsville as well. So very exciting, big opportunity for him, and good luck to him. I might actually be at that race depending on if things go well. So 40 minutes away, might as well.
Asking for a
Currently in
pass.
P17.
Absolutely, Caden. Somebody that has developed in OSCA pretty well, obviously does very good in his Legends car. I believe. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. I want to say it was the World Finals. I could be wrong. He's going to be in a tricky situation there. He's got his teammate below him and heel Zach Evans above him. They're going to be 3 wide heading into 3 and 4. But back out front, Austin Beers has fallen off of AJ Clemens just a little bit. Not under fire from Daniel Gore, though. So those guys are sorting that out for just outside the top 15 there. Caden Tuff, Zach Evans right on board with Caden, I believe, here. Or this is Darren, actually.
How much Mountain Dew do we have in Darren's camera right there? Actually, a little bit more than last week, I believe. I didn't think we didn't have the lower cluster of dew last week, just the desk dew. So,
is that the new logo on the boxes in the back there? I see the boxes Mountain Dew I've been getting have the
I
old
think
logo,
so.
and that
I think so.
the cans have the new logo though, so I'm a little confused. I do love the new logo; it looks great, old style. I'm glad we're getting back to the classic.
Yeah, Pepsi as a whole is doing that.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Right on board with him here. He's in the 17th spot. Mentioned him earlier pre-race as somebody that would maybe be looking for a good run to try to boost his morale and his standings heading into the playoffs.
Oh, well, that's not good.
oh, that's not the way to do it. Wrinkle that right front up a little bit. It's gonna hurt the aero on these trucks. Aero very important on these trucks. You don't have a whole lot of power. You do have a lot of spoiler, and you have a lot of splitter on these things. So even a little bit of aero damage can make you in for a bit of a hard time. So I did see that right front. Darren's truck crinkle up a little bit when he smacked the wall. Might not make his situation too much better.
See a couple guys alternating the top side there. Daniel Gore took it through 3 and 4. Austin Beers is going to take it through 1 and 2. Those guys trying to find something different. They cut into the lead of AJ Clemens. Beers does a little bit that lap, but I'd have to imagine that if he takes the bottom in 3 and 4, it's going to cut back. Nobody's going to take the top that time, so AJ Clemens maintains about a half a second lead over Austin Beers, Daniel Gore. Noah Brown, Matt Hackathorn still your top 5 as they were a little bit ago. First battle on the racetrack is going to be for the 6th spot. Jake Scarborough looking to get around Thomas Capuano. Still making his climb through the field as we're about halfway through half number 1.
Capuano with a new truck this week. He was describing it as the ridiculous red machine, and I'd say it is very red, and the jury is out on whether it's ridiculous or not, but it does give F1 at Miami, or Ferrari at Miami vibes, excuse me, with the red and the blue, white together. So, jury is out on whether people like that one or not either, but he is giving that truck a good run. He was able to get around Jake Scarborough and put himself up into that P6 spot. And actually, Jake Scarborough, he's up 7 spots. He was up 8 before he got passed there by Thomas Capuano, looking to get past him again here in 1 and 2. Trying to bring his, I was going to say his teammate, but that's actually not the 88 of Santiago Corey. Very similar looking trucks from a distance, the 32 and the 88, but that is Dustin Dewar. Actually looking to get around both of those trucks right now.
Yeah, we had a little bit of contact there between the 32 and the 77 down the front straightaway. It looked like Jake was trying to get around Tom and didn't quite know Dusty was there. Dusty having a pretty good run so far. He's going to put himself up into the 6th position. Somebody that's looking for a decent run. We've seen him run really good at the plate tracks. He ran well at Talladega last week. Didn't quite get the results he wanted, but he and Jake Scarborough are going to be side by side, door to door as they go through 1 and 2. But Dusty clearly has done a little bit of a better job than those guys at saving tires. He's going to stick to the bottom and go flying around the 77 of Scarborough. So right before pit stops, Dusty Dewar's looking really good. And I think, if I'm correct, I think the pit stop number was 24-ish is what I heard.
Yeah, that's about what I heard. I thought there were some rumblings that the run wasn't going to be up to halfway, but I think it was a little bit over, so shouldn't be too much of a problem here. Going to be on board here with, who is this? The number 69 of Gore. He's currently running in 3rd, about 1.5 seconds behind those two of Clemens and Beers ahead of him.
No fan.
Yeah.
No fan. You know
I was gonna say
why?
that.
Look at that bad boy unit he's got. Look at that bad Larry, right there on the window.
Hey, I wish I had one of those, man. Our AC unit's been out for a while. Danny, in the South Carolina, I'm in the North one. It's very hot. It's very humid. Not a good time. It is 66 degrees outside right now, and I am sweating inside with a fan directly on me. So, shout out to Danny. I wish I had that. I'm jealous. We also have a Danny G fan in the chat, Ben Messer, cheering him on. I hope I said your name right. If I didn't, correct me. Beat me up, murder me, and I will correct it. We did that with Dakota's name. I don't like saying people's names wrong, man. I hate it. All the way from the UK, though. 2 a.m. And he's sitting here watching Danny G rip the Sunny D Toyota around Homestead, Miami. That's
Yeah, green flag pit stops.
Pit stop.
So right at halfway, people trying to split it in half. Hackathorn going to start him off. James Miller, Dallas Myhan. So that must be a TMR strategy. 2 TMR teammates down pit road. I'd have to imagine that we're going to see guys cover it.
Yep, and this one of the tougher pit roads to get on, Ty. I know I've messed up a few times. It's a very sharp angle of entry off of turn 4 to try to get down into that pit, down to 45 miles an hour pit speed down that pit lane. So look for some mistakes. Definitely, really. Oh, something happened. I'm hearing Zach Evans mad over the radio at somebody. It might be standard fare for what we've seen the last few weeks. So see what happens.
21 and 88 did not. No, it wasn't the 88 of Santee. Actually, it was Thomas Capuano. Santee was not pitting. Tom didn't call it out. And Tom just parked it in front of Santee. So, Jake Scarborough pit road.
There's the leader, or was the leader, 67 of Clemens on pit road. Believe that Thomas Capuano actually got a penalty. He's having to come down again, so he did call out that time.
Yeah,
and might have been speeding or something like that. Definitely a penalty of some sort.
Jake Scarborough must have had an issue. He is 1 lap down now.
Leader pit
Still
road.
sitting on pit road. Oh, no, well, it says he's a lap down. Oh, never mind, dumb. Sorry, don't worry about me. Austin Beers down pit road. Dusty Dewar will assume the lead. Kynan Jones 2nd. Bojo 3rd. David Westergreen 4th. So that seems to be an alternate strategy for the South Shore boys.
Want to give a quick shout out to Kynan Jones. Started P25 before the pit stops. It actually made its way up to about P11. It's a pretty big gain for the stops here, and definitely trying to play a little bit of strategy here. Stay out a little bit longer. And what that actually does is, with the way the tires wear, is if you can stay out a little bit longer and kind of backload your run, you get your fresher tires, more towards the end of the race rather than earlier on. So typically going to make you faster near the end of the race than some of the other guys. So that might be a strategy that plays off.
Noticed Ray Bracey came down pit road. David Westergreen did not. So it's going to be interesting to see if he stays out a little longer or if he's going to come in this time. He is slowing down immensely, so I would assume he is pitting this time, and he is. So David Westergreen down pit road. Kynan Jones remains to be the only guy that did not pit, and this isn't something that we haven't seen from Kynan. Kynan at Homestead, I think, we've seen him a couple times pull a strategy like this where he stays out, tries to do a little bit of fuel saving, a little tire saving. We also, I feel like we were in this situation at Atlanta with Kynan, right? And he stayed out a lot longer than everybody else, or maybe shorter than everybody else, I think is what it was at Atlanta. And he made it work for a second or third place finish. So Kynan cooking up another one here.
Yeah, I just think at this point, when everybody else has kind of pitted, I think, well, actually, I'm showing that should cycle through here in about a couple laps. Like, Matt Hackathorn's actually going to be the leader. He's only 2/10 ahead of the 19 and 67 currently. So he did pit, what, 2 laps before at least AJ Clemens. I think it's going to be 3 or 4 before Spears. That's a pretty significant tire difference for Matt versus those two. So he's going to have to kind of hang on here for a little bit. Kynan Jones still has not pitted, so right now he's on the old tires, and he is the other drivers that pitted, AJ Clemens, Spears, etc. They are on fresh tires, and they are making up a ton of time on him right now. There's Neil Rutt pitting. So when Kynan Jones eventually comes down pit road, he's going to be about 20-30 seconds behind those drivers, but he will have the fresher tires, so he should gain at least some of that time back up. But only 14 laps to go now. Looks like he's coming down now. There's really not a lot of time to gain all that back, so we'll have to see.
There he comes.
Other guys. Oh, almost got the pit barrels there. Shades of Kyle Larson there last year at Homestead, Miami.
That happened right
Dave
in
Carpenter.
front of me, man.
Did it really? I would have paid to see that. I feel like that would have had to be a
Dude,
good...
I took my best friend to the racetrack for the first time, and I was telling him, here's what Larson's going to do, and he's driving in there deep, and oh my god, like it literally happened in front of us.
That's insane. Is Aaron Evans still on the racetrack? Did he stay out? I'm guessing he did.
Yeah, he stayed out. Current race leader, Aaron Evans.
17 seconds out of Austin Bears. That gap's going to close pretty quickly here. 13 to go this time by, and I would assume that he's probably going to pit this time. Never mind. Somebody that's just going for an alternate strategy, trying to pull a Hail Mary off. And he's pitting this time. Never mind, I stand corrected. Kynan Jones off of pit road. You see him not quite on your ticker. I would assume he's probably going to be just outside the top 10. Judging around the 14th to 12th position marker. Dead in the middle, 13th. That's what I'm talking about. I quick math. I look at it. I analyze. That's what I do. I'm an analyst. 15 seconds now. The gap to
So you
Austin
quick
Beers. So about
math?
3 seconds. Quick math.
We are going to have a pretty good battle for the lead here as soon as it cycles through. It's about 2/10 from Austin Beers back to AJ Clemens. Austin Beers was able to jump to 67 on that pit cycle. I believe Austin actually pitted later as well, which is surprising. So maybe some trouble for the 67 on that pit cycle. Maybe a bit of a slow entry or slow exit, maybe a slow stop, but typically you wouldn't expect the driver to pit who pitted later to jump like that. So definitely a great cycle for that 19 crew to get him out front.
About 2/10 ahead of AJ Clemens right now. Matt Hackathorn up to third. Jake Scarborough in the 5th spot now, so he jumped Noah Brown. He was one of the guys that pitted earlier, though, so going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Meanwhile, Kynan Jones, 11 seconds off of the leaders right now. So we're going to need yellow for that to play into effect, but when you're looking at the 5 or 6, maybe 7 laps fresher that his tires are going to be if we have yellow, he's going to be making pretty quick work of these guys, but that yellow has to happen soon for it to really matter. As with 2 to go, if you're restarting in the 12th or 13th spot, you're not really going to do much more than a top 5, maybe up there. But right now, Austin Beers is your leader, 3/10 over AJ Clemens. A little bit of gap back there to Matt Hackathorn and Daniel Gore fighting for the 3rd spot. Jake Scarborough, 2 seconds back, about 7/10 of a second back to Noah Brown. James Miller, about a half a second back from them. And then we're pretty spread out the rest of the way, just outside your top 10. And Zach Evans bumps his way up in that number 6 machine.
A little bit of trouble for the 67 of Clemens. He actually got into the wall there in the middle of 1 and 2. Just trying to maybe figure something out to try to get around that 19 in front of him, try a different line and see if it works, because now that gap up to 0.6 of a second. So that mistake cost him 0.3 right there.
And Austin Beers doesn't really make mistakes. He does, but like when he's in situations like this, he knows how to back himself down, and When you're 8 to go at Homestead lost to Beers, you don't want to make mistakes like that. So he's going to have to push pretty hard to catch back up to him.
If we had a change of position for third, Daniel Gore was able to get around Matt Hackathorn here. This is the battle for P8 on track. Santiago Aguirre and Dustin Dewar going at it. The two similar-ish looking trucks, similar-ish colors going at it. Dustin Dewar has had a great run today. Been very fast on the long runs, and it looks like he was able to get around that. Number 88, here's Gilberto. He is currently in P18, just made that pass. So I think, did he have some trouble on pit road, or did that strategy just put him back that far? Because he's about 21 seconds behind now. Like we were saying, he should be quicker on this tail end of the run, along with Kynan Jones. But Kynan Jones, he's 12.2 behind, and Gilberto, he's 21 seconds behind. So just not a lot of time here. 6 laps to go to make up that time on the racetrack.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Because Kynan, you would think that he would have caught this whole time. The gap when Kynan came out of pit road was 11. So he's lost a second to these guys. And I had to imagine if he is just saving tires for yellow, if he knew that that was going to be his plan. For Gilberto, though, he really, ever since the drop of the green flag, he was struggling. He was down. He queued up at some point, and I looked, and he was in the 24th spot. So he wasn't running that good. He struggled pretty hard. Good news for him, though. The invert is 20 trucks, so he stays 18th. Restart third. See Noah Brown and Jake Scarborough. Those two are going to duel for the 5th spot right there with about 4 to go here from Homestead Main.
They got pretty spread out here, so not... It's like everybody has kind of cycled out to where they... pit stops and everything. We don't have a whole lot of big battles on the track right now. I think this battle for 11th is probably the best one. Dallas Myhan and Ray Bracey a little bit further ahead. Here's Noah Brown and Jake Scarborough going out as the teammates. Battling for a top 5 position. Just a good shout to Jake Scarborough. Started P14 on the night and good recovery up to P5 here, battling with his teammate for that spot.
He always makes a point. You know, obviously we only do the top 3 in the second half. He never gets a top 3 in the second half, so he makes that a point every week that he gets one in the first half. I would love to talk to him, man. He's had a good season, and he's making a name for himself here. These trucks have really opened up a whole new thing for Jake. Jake was very quick in the Xfinity cars. He was quick in the Gen 6 cars as well, the 2013 version of that. But these trucks, man, he's been... It's like a light switch turned on for him, and he's been a top 10 contender every week, top 5 even. He's been up there fighting for a couple wins, so good to see Jake Scarborough out there. Noah Brown, also, he's going to get around Jake Scarborough for the 5th spot. Somebody that has had some struggles lately. I believe he was in a hotel room or something one week trying to race. We get a data gap here. We see Austin Beers has pulled away. Or is that saying that Clemens is quicker than Beers? I get this mixed up every week that we show it.
So when it's green, Clemens is quicker than Beers, so
Okay.
36 and 37.
So they're really just flip-flopping. Beers
Yeah,
will be
Beers-
quicker, Clemens is quicker.
Beers was in some traffic. He had to pass the 27 of Peeler there a minute ago, but he's kind of extending that lead, keeping it right where he needs to be, about half a second. Doesn't really need to be 6, 7 tenths. Half a second's right about where kind of that aero wash starts to affect you if you're trying to make a pass. So 2 laps here to go. Actually, 1 to go. So one more time around, and Beers looking for another win on the season.
Got about a 6 to 7 tenths of a second lead is what the thing is showing. Clemens in the wall there. It's gonna seal his hopes up there. Austin Beers now, no pressure from behind. About a second lead for him. A little bit further back, looks like the closest that we might see is maybe a squabble for the 6th spot with Dustin Dewar and Jake Scarborough, but I doubt it. Austin Beers out of turn 4. He's going to win half number 1 here at the 3-wide TV 120. Another win for him on the season. AJ Clemens 2nd. Daniel Gore's going to come home 3rd. Matt Hackathorn 4th. Noah Brown 5th. Scarborough will hold off Dewar for 6th. James Miller's going to get up to the 8th spot. Santiago 9th. Zach Evans can round it out with the top 10.
Good race, caution free. Didn't see any yellows here tonight on half number 1. We usually don't see that in half number 2, but definitely going to be interesting to see. We're going to have a nighttime start here in a few minutes to see what we can do, but I did. That was a great race. It was great to see the comers and goers, and some of the trucks that started further in the back were able to make their way to the field. So Austin Beer is going to do some celebratory burnouts here for his 3rd victory on the season.
It's going to be interesting too to see how the difference is going to be, because we're going to have a night race here for half number 2. So guys are going to maybe be able to get a little more grip, push a little bit more. It's going to be interesting to see.
We've got 6 minutes here before we get to our next race. I believe you want to see if we can maybe talk to somebody from that half before we get going here again?
we talk about how he always has good runs in the first half, and we never get to talk to him. How would you say we talk to Jake Scarborough real quick, huh?
I'd say that's a great idea. Let's go ahead and get him in here.
Get him pulled up. We'll have a chat with him real quick. Jake, buddy, it's time in the booth. You got a copy? Jake.
Oh no, we've lost Jake.
Oh no, the one time that we can actually talk to him, he's not here. Okay, well, we'll put him in interview waiting, and we'll wait just a second. Hopefully we can have a chat with him. I'm going to send him a text message. Just let him know that we're
Maybe we can do picks first, and then
yeah, let's do that.
Can we? We're gonna go through the results or get that after?
I SDK for some reason it lost connection. So I'm working on that. Let me see if it's working now.
We can do it manually if you want to.
Yeah, you guys may have to do it manually.
We could just
alrighty.
first.
Sure.
Up to you guys.
Let's do picks first.
All right.
I believe I'm going first.
Yes, you are.
All right. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Peeler. But you know what? I saw this guy. He started off in the front row in the first race, dropped to the back immediately, and I think he's gonna learn from the mistakes and whatever lessons he learned in that first half to get himself a good finish. Yo me voy a escoger a Gilberto Javier Comera.
That was
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, that is. I honestly, can we do that more often? TP, you're up.
Yeah, what, yeah, that, give me Dewar.
Give me Justin Durr.
Talk to Phil, huh?
Yeah.
I am going to pick.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
6.
Yeah,
I don't
Zach
know who that is, but okay.
Good pick.
Blue
You got a
beans.
top 10.
Well, Pi, who you got?
I'm gonna take. Give me. Is he here tonight? Ooh, he is, but he's not doing good. Yikes! You know what? Give me Noah Brown.
I kind of like that pick. Not gonna lie to you, I liked it in half one. So, speaking of the guy that picked him in half one, Neil, you're up.
I'm gonna go with, because I have not picked him. I don't know why. James Miller.
Hey, we swapped. Look at us go. We swapped
Look at
picks. Twinsies.
It's not the only thing you two swap.
Yeah, you're right. I'll admit it.
See you
All
next
right.
week, Ty. See you next week.
Ay. All right, I'm gonna go with Dallas Mayan. Carlos or Cam, that leaves you.
All right. Well, he didn't show a whole lot of speed in half number 1, but he is your pole sitter for half number 2. Maybe he just needed a change of scenery. I'm gonna go with Dylan Thomas.
I believe that wraps us up there. So we're going to go ahead. We tried to talk to him before. I can confirm that he is here now. Man who had a top 6 in half number 1, started 14th. We never get to talk to him. Jake Scarborough's type in the booth. Got a copy, buddy? We made the joke that you always finish well in the first half. And we have a little bit of time here, so we figured we'd bring you up and chat with you. You started 14th in half number 1. I saw pretty quickly you moved your way up. You were fighting your teammate for the 5th spot. Unfortunately, though, I think the later pit stop from him was able to bid him on that. But you still got P6, and you're looking pretty good in the playoff standings. So how do you feel for half number 2?
Looking forward to it. Obviously, Homestead's been a track that's treated me well in the past, so hopefully I can get another top 10. Missing Atlanta put me further back in points when I was like 3rd going into that race. But no, I'm looking forward to half 2. I feel like I learned a little bit on tire management in that first half, which is something I was fighting a lot, so I think I can pull out a decent result.
Obviously, I made a point that, you know, you were fantastic in the Xfinity car in OSCA. You were fantastic in the Gen 6 car for the races you ran in that season before. Do you feel like the truck, though, has completely flipped the switch? Because I feel like you've gone from finishing in the top 10 every week and the top 5 every other week to, I mean, you're a top 5 contender week in and week out.
You want my honest opinion? I hate the truck.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah, no, when we went into the season, I was sitting here saying, I don't like this thing, I don't want to be driving it, but it's so far worked out for me for the most part. Most of the races have been top 10 finishes, so I hope to keep that streak going and maybe fight for a championship. I'm not going too far, but I feel like a good spot in the point standings is possible at the end of the season.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, before we let you get out of here to start half number 2, any shout-outs you want to give?
Obviously Carlos for sponsoring the race and sponsoring this 77 truck with 3-wide TV, everyone involved with Burning Rubber Entertainment, all the Redux guys, and shout out to Taylor for watching.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck in half number 2. You're going to be rolling off, I believe, in the 15th spot, unless I'm incorrect.
I believe so.
All right, buddy. Well, go get them. Have some fun.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That was Jake Scarborough, finished half number 1 in the 6th spot, gained 8 spots. We're going to roll through your grid for half number 2. Dylan Thomas gets the invert, so he will start P1. His teammate Neil Rutt to his outside will start 2nd. Dave Carpenter 3rd. Our pole sitter from half number 1, Gilberto Javier Gomera, he will roll off 4th. Darren Staff 5th. Thomas Capuano 6th. Dallas Myhan 7th. Kynan Jones 8th. Number 9, David Westergreen will roll off in the 9th position with his teammate Ray Bracey to his outside to round out row number 5.
Well, forget him this time. Rolling off in 11th is Zach Evans Zach Evans next to Santiago Aguirre rolls off in P12. James Miller rolls up 13th. And Dustin Dewar, great run in half number 1. He'll roll off in 14th. Jake Scarborough, we just talked to him. He will be starting in P15 next to Noah Brown, his teammate in the 65, rolling off in 16th. Matt Hackthorne, great run in half number 1, finished P4. Start off in P17 next to Daniel Gore, the 3rd place finisher from half number 1 in 18th place. 19th is going to be AJ Plemons, and then Austin Beers rolls off in 20th, your half number 1 winner.
Aaron Evans, 21st. 22nd, Dakota Pignataro. 23rd, Patrick Hehe. 24th, Adam Peeler. And 25th, Caden Tufts. So that is your grid for half number 2. So we get ready to roll here. The Wonder Bread car, P1, still running those Talladega Nights paint schemes for himself and Adam Peeler. Obviously, it got Dylan a win in Talladega and one of our most thrilling finishes that we've had. Last week was an absolute blast, man. I knew it was Talladega and it was going to be a good show, but you talk about 2 finishes that were within 100th of a second each time. Kind of insane.
Oh yeah, and I believe the first race went caution free as well. So we were able to do all that without crashing a whole bunch of trucks. Always great to see, especially on an iRacing Super Fair race in 2025. Not a common occurrence. So these guys were able to do a really good job last week, and I mean we went caution free last half. Again, I think we've had several caution free races this year, Ty. So these guys are doing a really good job out here.
Absolutely. This has been one of the cleanest OSCA seasons I've seen. Obviously, I've been a part of most of them. But this has been...
How funny.
Okay, listen, dude. There was Daytona that one year. I went below the double yellow line. I'm man enough to admit it. Okay? I made a dumb. I was angry. I caused a big wreck. That was bad. I served my... I didn't do my time on that one. I did my time because of that a little later because something else happened. But that's besides the point, Carlos. Okay? Something I want to note, I was going to point this out, but it's not to change the subject, I promise. iRacing did some updates to Homestead Miami Speedway, and we didn't really see it as much in the daytime, but as they go down the front straightaway, it's nice to see the pink that goes with the blue so well during the nighttime under the lights. It's going to be something to look at. What? I swear I wasn't. That's not to change the subject. It just looks good, Carlos. I promise.
Extra hot.
Oh, no. Dylan Thomas is going to lead us to green. I can't even say anything about that. Neil Rutter's outside. They get a good jump. They're going to get a good lead over Gilly and Dave Carpenter. Gilly looking to struggle again here on the start. Hopefully he doesn't struggle as bad. They're going to be 3 wide already, maybe. Staggered 3. Kynan Jones behind his teammate Gilly. He's trying to give him a push. Gilly's going to fall away to the 5th spot. Maybe more. He's getting turned. Dallas might hit around. David Westergreen involved.
Yep, caution free in race number 1 and caution in lap number 1 in race number 2. Gilly, I was watching him. He was definitely on the struggle bus through turns 1 and 2. That truck just shot left. I don't know if there was some net code or actual contact, but the 73 of Kynan Jones was definitely the truck behind him. And yeah, the big hit there between him and the 9, I believe it was.
Yeah, Gilly in these starts tonight have not been that locked in, and he got to Kynan got to him and tried to give him maybe a little bit of a push before. I don't think it broke him loose there. I think Gilly might have just got loose because of the corner, but David Westergreen into the back of Dallas Myhand. I would have to assume that somebody got into the back of David. Yeah, Gilly just got loose. Nowhere for Dallas to go, nowhere for David to go. I think David might have got shoved into it. He was saying thank you to somebody. So he's going to have pretty significant damage from the inside wall there on that Iron Man bite-sized sports machine.
Oh, that's my pick!
I will say, though, Ty. Oh, go ahead, Carlos.
That's my pick! Oh!
Well,
yeah.
That was...
You know...
Okay, no, that was
I
weird.
think that 99... I think he was loose, and then the truck just kind of... He never really got the truck under him, and... I don't think there was any contact from behind from the 73.
There was contact.
Here.
There was contact.
But it wasn't within enough time where I think it was on that. It was like...
Yeah, it was after he was already going to spin.
And actually, from here, you could have seen it. When the banking started to flatten out, that's when the truck broke loose.
Like race control is going to agree with that assessment too. 99 EOL penalty for that. So I was going to say though, Ty, for the angle that those trucks hit, not a lot of, I mean, doesn't look like any race-ending damage for any of those trucks. Maybe a couple of dents that need to be banged out here and there, but at least everybody should be able to continue.
Yeah, no, hopefully they do bang them out. So David Westergreen, a little bit of front-end damage. He went to the inside wall. Dallas Myhand may have had some rear-end damage, maybe a little bit of front-end. I would say that Gilly probably got the better end of that, really just getting spun. So not race-ending damage, like you said. Certainly going to inherit a little bit of worry from those guys as far as aero and how the truck's going to break tight if it's going to be loose. And they're going to have to work through that. But on lap 1, you've got now 38 laps to catch another yellow, get the damage fixed. You're going to be pitting anyways, do what you can.
Looking at the field here real quick, Daniel Gore and AJ Plemons both up 6 spots from their starting position in that one corner, or really 2 corners of racing. So probably both of those looking to be aggressive here on the start. Looks like Jake Scarborough also up 6 spots from his starting position. Santiago Aguirre up 6 spots. He's up P6 currently. So a lot of drivers actually looking to make this second half looking to make some moves here and see what they can do. Definitely, I would say, Ty, this is one of the more on the restarts, you can definitely make some time here, especially if you can get around that outside line and get hanging up there on the right up next to the wall. You can get a really good launch down off turn number 2 and get a lot of speed. So see if they can do this on that restart.
Especially if the guy on the bottom isn't really comfortable. Like, you can start to get going, and then the truck doesn't settle, and then you feel like you're on the edge. You don't know if you're going to break loose or not, so you're not as aggressive with the throttle as you maybe could be. So going to be something to keep an eye on here. Dylan Thomas, the pit. Okay, nope, I don't like that. The pace truck just went through the pit wall. Dylan Thomas is going to get a huge jump. He's going to lead Neil Rutt. They're going to get clear of his teammate there. Thomas Capuano now should have a pretty good shot to the inside of Neil Rutt. He's going to be side by side for the second spot here as we start to see everybody try to shuffle once again. A little bit further back, Santiago Aguirre, he got a pretty good start. Here comes Jake Scarborough now. He's looking to make a move on Kynan Jones just inside the top 10. He's our biggest mover so far.
Dewar was in the wall.
He's going to... Yeah, it's going to open the door for Scarborough to get by. Scarborough's going to maybe go top 3 wide. Darren Staff with a little bit of a risky corner. He's going to slide up in front of Scarborough. Here comes AJ Clemens now looking to make his way through the field. Austin Beers not too far behind him. Daniel Gore as well. James Miller.
Clemens is the one on the move right now. He was 3 wide in turn number 1, and he has not been 3 wide since actually now, as I say that, he gets to 2 wide there, looking for a move on the 73. Kynan Jones almost in contact there. Kynan kind of closed the door on him. AJ Clemens said, no, I'm going to take that. Thank you very much. Now being followed by James Miller. We're on board here with Ray Bracey. He's currently 5th. If we could actually get a rear view of him, he would see the 3 wide action going on right now behind him. There's Dave Carpenter, and then right behind him, the 3 wide battle between Scarborough, it looks like Clemens, and Kynan Jones there. James Miller trying to get involved. Ooh, Daniel Gore sideways. Noah Brown as well.
No caution.
2 Redux trucks. Not sure what happened there. I mean, we'll have to go back and see what happened on the replay, but at first glance, we see 2 teammates sideways. That's not a great look. Replay here. Daniel Gore on the outside, Noah Brown on the inside. Looks like, ooh.
Oh, no. They went for the same spot.
Yikes.
This is a certified
As
Redux
Daryl
racing
Walton
moment.
would say, yikes.
That is a Noah Brown moment. Not Noah. It was 50-50. It's not Noah Brown's fault, but like the Redux meme was the Noah Brown moment. Cam, didn't you make that meme?
Yes, that was courtesy of myself. So, yeah, I mean, I couldn't really assign blame to either of them. No, Austin Beers was in front. He slid up in front of both, and it looks like they both went for a position that couldn't be filled by 2 trucks. So, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the Redux Racing headquarters right now, because that would be an interesting conversation.
Daniel Gore sitting on pit road. Noah Brown now coming down. He's got significant left and right front damage on that number 65 machine. I would assume his day is probably cooked unless he gets a yellow. Danny G is pulling out of his pit, so he must have got his damage fixed. He will go 1 lap down. So we will see what comes of that. Currently lap 9, still your leader, Dylan Thomas. Neil Rutt on the high side just behind him. Thomas Capuano in 3rd. The 3rd Redux truck there, Santiago Gari, he is 4th. Ray Bracey 5th. AJ Clemens getting around Darren Stafford, the 6th spot. James Miller 8th. 9th, Dustin Dewar. 10th, Austin Beers. Something to note, Jake Scarborough, we saw him up inside the top 10. He is now struggling a little bit. He is into the 11th spot just behind Austin Beers, maybe trying to back himself down and pace himself as we run on board with Darren Staff. Getting a good look at AJ Clemens now passing Bojo. Bojo going to let his teammate go by, maybe try to tuck in behind him and follow just a little bit.
There was a lot of beating and banging RG there further on in the back. Around where Darren is running here, about P8 to P15. So I'm looking at Jake's truck. I don't see any damage on it. He just looks like he, like I said, might have been just backing off, or maybe pushed a little bit too hard early on and paying the price. But really, I mean, lap 10, really early to lose the truck like that. So I got to think he's saving a little bit.
Yeah, because, I mean, maybe lap 15, lap 20, you would lose the truck, but 10 laps into a run, that's, unless you're absolutely dogging it, you shouldn't lose it too bad. Is out front, Dylan Thomas still your leader, about half a second back to Thomas Capuano now, Neil Rutt in the 3rd spot, Santiago 4th. As you see the battle right now for the 8th spot, Dustin Dewar, Darren Staff, Austin Beers, Jake Scarborough, Kynan Jones. That is a huge cluster going on there. Matt Hackathorn going to join it, as well as Aaron Evans.
It's a good battle there between Darren Staff and Dustin Dewar. We're looking at the battle there between Santiago Aguirre and AJ Clemens. Clemens up from the 19th spot, so he's up 14 spots currently, trying to get around Santi, and yes, he does there. So make that P4 for him. Actually, trying to make it P3. Neil Rudd up there on the top side, right up next to the wall. I think he might get the good run off. And Clemens trying to get around him, not quite. We're on board with Santi here, watching that battle in front of him. Santi very focused right there, running that inside line through 3 and 4. And I think AJ is going to get the spot here off of turn 4. Not quite.
A little bit of an update for the Noah Brown fans. He's got the right front and left front fixed. He is 4 laps down, but he is back out on the racetrack right now. Daniel Gore is still 1 lap down, but he is just ahead of our leaders there. I can see Dylan Thomas. When I ride on board with Danny G, when I look back, I can see Dylan Thomas back there. So Danny G wanting a yellow very soon. I would assume that the truck is back to normal, but still trying to do the best he can to keep 1 lap down and get that lucky dog. Noah Brown, though, he's going to need about 4 yellows to be able to get back.
Oh.
everything that he's lost.
Ooh, some contact there between the 66 and the 67 there through 3 and 4. AJ Plum's got a little bit sideways, but he's able to keep it straight and actually get the spot on Neil Rutt. So move him up to P3. Looking back a little bit further, this is the battle for P4 now. Neil Rutt, he was just passed by AJ Clemens, now under fire from Ray Bracey and the 09 of Miller. A bit of a different look for that truck this week. Normally a red and white truck. It's now pink, white, and blue. And I believe that is, there is some French on the back of there, so try not to show that if you can. But,
So a little confused here. I was riding on board with Daniel Gore just to see if he was be able to maintain anything. He is now not on the racetrack. He's blinked out completely. He's now 2 laps down. So a little bit of trouble there. I would assume computer issues. So I would be expecting to see a disconnected due to packet loss very shortly for the 69 truck. As unfortunate for Daniel Gore as that is, I believe with his half one finish, he probably should have locked himself into the playoffs already. So.
Absolutely, yeah. I think you need like a 15th place or so. So with a third, he's pretty much, I believe, we'll wait for the official confirmation after the race, but he's certainly not coming back. His quality is dropping now down to 16, now 15. So, I mean, he didn't alt F4. We would have seen him disconnect already if that were the case.
And there it goes.
Yep. Maybe some kind of computer issue. Maybe just got the computer off. Maybe was kind of down with it tonight. Never know. Definitely been in that situation myself a few times. But yep, on board with Aaron Evans. He is up from the 21st spot, now battling behind with the 04 of Matt Hackathorn. Both of those drivers up about 5, 6 spots from their starting spot. So good scenes from the back here of the 48. Matt Hackathorn had a great run in half number 1. He was able to finish 4th, so trying to replicate that here in half number 2. About a couple more trucks to pass before he gets there, but doing well right now. Pit stop. Neil Rutt, yeah, that's about right on par from what we saw in half number 1. Zach Evans coming with him as well, so that's the Binks truck.
You're lucky. That's all I'm going to say. Bojo is rolling in content, but he can't do anything with it because he's really busy. You're lucky. See Neil Rutt, that's the 2 Binks teammates, as Cameron was saying, coming down pit road. Looking at our leader, Dylan Thomas, who has done a fantastic job maintaining that so far. Thomas Capuano has done a good job of maintaining his 2nd spot. He just got passed by AJ Clemens. So AJ Clemens right now looking to make the charge up to Dylan Thomas to pass him for the lead. Neil Rutt and Zach Evans both leaving pit road right now. Half one winner Austin Beers, he's up to the 6th spot. James Miller, P5, just in front of him. Dustin Dewey 7th, Santiago 8th. Never mind, Santiago 9th, Kynan Jones 8th. They just had a pass for that position. Jake Scarborough rounds out the top 10. And I believe, if I'm correct, we saw the last lap for pit stops was roughly about 12 or 13 to go. I could be wrong. So we have about 8 laps left in that window of when it closes. So in the next 8 laps, we might see guys pop in and off of pit road. We do have 2 guys in interview waiting. If we wanted to grab one of them and pull them up for an interview, let's go ahead. Who was the first one in that first accident? So we'll bring up David Westergreen.
Oh.
David, it's time for the booth buddy. You got a copy?
Yeah. I'm just one-handing it around. Can't drive it. Car's busted.
Well, we saw the accident there. As we see Kynan Jones and Jake Scarborough coming down pit road. We saw the incident there early on. Obviously, Gilly struggling with the restarts, or with the initial starts. Struggled with it in half 1, struggled there in half 2, and then nowhere for Dallas to go, nowhere for you to go. I think you also got maybe shoved into it there, but obviously you're still trying to do your best, but got to be not the way you wanted to follow up a win at Talladega.
No, but that's important. That's the important thing to remember, is that we won last week at Talladega, and that's where I'll keep hanging my hat. But I thought the other incident should have been a yellow, and I decided to, voice that and get some unfair berating from league honcho. So I'm pretty pissed about that. Hope he has a miserable night, honestly. But overall, just as miserable as my night's been, because this is terrible. Truck's undraivable now, but yeah, it's happens in these races sometimes. I don't mind. Whatever.
All right, buddy. Well, obviously, I know you're going to try to do what you can. You're running in the 17th spot right now. Anybody want to shout out?
Bite Size Sports for sure. On the truck, as always. Creative Brewing Company. Bojo painted the car. Raised, I hope, still running in the top 5. I wasn't necessarily intending on getting an interview, but I'm glad I got to yell out my frustrations because that's pretty annoying. Note a yellow flag should have come out and get yelled at for it. So you do what you do. But hey, we won last week. That's what's important. I'll let you guys do it.
All right, buddy. Well, just remember that you won, and keep that in your mind. You're still very solidly in the playoff standings. So we're gonna let you go back to your team, and we're gonna cover the rest of these pit roads, and then we're gonna try to get a word with Daniel Gore. He's had some issues. So. Let him do his thing there. As we see AJ Clemens down pit road, Dylan Thomas still your leader. Thomas Capuano stayed out. Ray Bracey stayed out. So your top 4 still the same that it was, minus AJ Clemens. Austin Beers on pit road as well. Dylan Thomas starting to get a little free, so I would assume that we will see that number 13 truck come down pit road in the next 2 to 3 laps here, maybe this time.
Let's go ahead and get Daniel Gore up here real quick for get a word with him. One spicy interview down. Perhaps maybe another one coming here. Daniel Gore, this is Cam Richards, the boot pick up.
That guy.
All right, well, what happened? Oh, my goodness. Well, we have a crash on the racetrack.
Oh, gosh. Hold on, Daniel. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Yeah, we'll get with you.
All right.
James Miller around on the front stretch, right in the middle of pit cycles, and that's going to leave Adam Peeler in the lead. So, my goodness. That just changed the race a little bit.
Old top 4 was on pit road. Dylan Thomas, Dave Carpenter, Thomas Capuano, Ray Bracey, everybody already on pit road. So that's going to benefit them, I would imagine. They are getting passed by everybody who hasn't pitted.
They're going to be under caution here. We'll have to take a look at the replay. All I saw was the 09 careening out of control on the front stretch. Not sure if he lost control or if there was some contact here. Yeah, he just got loose under the 88 and way too much beans there. The beans were spilling out of the exhaust pipe all over the racetrack. And cleanup is not going to be too happy about that, but yeah, it's just
Tim Bits all over the front straightaway.
Tim Bits all over the front straightaway, yeah. So
oh no, they're not smiling anymore.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that statement is accurate now. Well, okay, well, Daniel, we have a bit of a window here to actually get an interview with you here. Thanks for the caution. Take us through what happened there.
I didn't really get to see. My internet dropped moments after, and it cut me out. I didn't get a chance to save it. I haven't even seen it myself, so I don't know exactly what happened. I feel bad for Noah because he got taken out. Obviously, my spot didn't even tell me there was a truck below me, and so yeah, I feel bad for. I think I came down. I'm pretty sure I did, and took him out. And I don't know how. That wasn't a caution, but Miller losing it on his own was. So it's all right. Stuff happens.
We got a replay monitor for you here if you want to get a look at it.
I'd love to see that.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, gotcha.
I can get it going for you. Just give me 1 second.
Got old school reel
right.
taped up here in the 3-wide TV booth.
Was it lap 7?
6 coming to 7, like right near the start. There you go.
Yeah, that's me.
From up here in the booth, it looked like you're racing the 19 of beers, and both of you, you and Noah, just kind of made the move at the same time. And he was gonna slot up there, but yeah, I mean.
Tough.
Yeah.
It's mostly my fault, I want to say. I take the blame for that. So.
Well, one quick question before we let you go, and before we give you shout outs, but how cold are you?
I'm feeling great right now. Other than what happened, I'm feeling so much better. You saw last week with the big box fan I had right there. Got AC now, 100% cooler.
Well, at least that makes the situation just a little bit better. I mean, maybe some good news here for you. You are locked into the playoffs. Not that was too much of a surprise coming into tonight. I think you needed like a 15th place finish or something, but at least something to take out of tonight, right? So
Yeah, something, I guess, with that caution coming out too, that puts my competitors in an awkward spot. So get to see them try and do something, maybe protect my lead a little bit. And I'm obviously, you notice I'm going to be missing next week. I'm not going to be here. I was kind of hoping to have a good second half to maybe keep the regular season lead. But, you know, it happens. Another bad race. Move on not next week, week after.
yeah, so with you missing next week, you will be here for Indy. How you feeling about that one?
I think that was the season opener last season, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Felt pretty good. No idea how it's going to handle in the truck. I'm sure it's going to be just as crazy as this. So we'll see how to try to keep it alive next week. I'm not seeing that we have, or week after. Seem to be having a problem with that recently.
All right, well, thank you for speaking to us. We have 12 laps to go here. About to get going green. Any quick shout out you want to give for us?
Ben, he was watching, stayed up till 2 a.m. for this. And just Shanti and Jake try and bring it home.
All right, thank you. Daniel Gore,
Yeah.
first driver locked in the playoffs tonight. We're going to go ahead and get going green here through the pit cycles. It looks like Dylan Thomas was able to get cycled back to the lead. He's actually going to go ahead and take the lead all to himself here going into turn one. Good restart on that bottom side. And here comes Austin Beers, no contact. He's sideways, he's straight. Oh my goodness, there's truck all over the place here in turn number 1 and 2, and no caution. The 13 was able to save it, but through that, Austin Beers is able to get himself back into the lead. Ty, goodness.
Zach Evans in that one too.
The 19 just had a really good run through the corner.
Caution.
Good Lord, so much happened on that restart that I couldn't even keep up with it, but we have another caution here. Ray Racy is the one that has spun out. I believe that is a self-spin on his part. There's Dylan Thomas. He was the one who actually got pinned sideways the first time. No caution for that one.
Pierce just had such a good run through 1 and 2, and I don't think Dylan was quite expecting it. And Bojo, wow.
He was loose into turn number 3, and there might have been some contact between the 13 and him, but not sure. But what a quick turn of events for that 13 of Dylan Thomas. Has led the whole race up to this point, and now he is going to be back in about P20. So how quickly things can happen here.
Yeah, also, back to 1 and 2, Austin Beers had a huge run through the corner, and Dylan maybe wasn't expecting him to quite be there. He went to try to close that door, but Beers was already there, so Dylan gets shoved up the racetrack into the 7 machine. Obviously, the 7 then has contact there. And, that's... Obviously, if you're in the 7 truck, you could not do anything. If you're in the 13, you went from leading the race to almost ending up on the junker in about 30 seconds. So
13 kind of went up from top to bottom. But
yeah,
at least that's how it looked from that angle. Also,
he definitely cut down about 3 lanes.
Zach Evans must be fuming. Let's go on board quickly on this restart here for Zach Evans and just take a look about half of this lap and see just what type of fortune Zach Evans had.
Okay, so he goes to the wall. He sees the hole there. Sees this going on. He's going to check up. He's going to still check up. Gets bumped into the 13 maybe a little bit. Okay. Mildly inconvenienced so far. And there's a 7 truck, and we're in the outside. Oh, no. And then the third. Okay. Yeah. Heel Zach might have a reason to be heel right now.
It was one of the OSCA laps of all time on board with that truck.
I mean, the outside didn't go on the restart. He goes to the outside. There's a truck that comes up to the outside, but not the normal way. And then, you see a wreck and you go, I'll miss it. Nope, here comes the 7. There's the wall. And then he's like, well, certainly that's done. Nope, here's Dylan Thomas. So
what did race control rule in that one?
I want to say that it was just netcode was the call there. It definitely didn't look like netcode on my screen. It just looked like Dylan maybe wasn't totally sure where Austin Beers was, but at the end of the day, I'm not race control. I can't make that call. We do have 7 laps to go here when we restart. Thomas Capuano is your leader. AJ Clemens to his outside. Austin Beers third. Huh?
I guess the question I have is, would you consider that thing one whole incident or 2 separate things, and one of them brought out the caution? Because I feel like the trucks were covered.
2.
That was 2, I think.
Yeah.
So the Dylan thing, because they sorted it out, and then we got to 3 and 4, and Bojo got loose. So while it was connected a little, I would say that it does still count as 2 separate incidents. Pace truck is off. He's driving through the pit wall every time. AJ Clemens is going to blink from the second spot. Oh, he blinked out.
No.
No, more problems. He's getting turned now in the middle of the field. Dave Carpenter involved. He blinked out before the restart. There was nothing Jake Scarborough could do. Aaron Evans involved. Oh, Bojo! No, we're still wrecking.
Yeah, chaos on the restart.
There was nothing that Jake Scarborough could do. AJ completely blinked out. He wasn't there. And then Jake Scarborough just got into the right rear of Clemens once he came back. And it was there. From that point on, it was on.
Some contact from behind, definitely, but I mean, the 67 did blink out, so
he got clobbered. I mean, he's got rear end damage. I'm curious if we could look at the 7 machine after all this. You see he blinks out, now he's back, and he's just kind of there. Still blinking through the 73 there. I'm curious because Bojo's going straight here, and then he somehow ends up spun around on the front stretch. I don't know if there was contact with him maybe hitting the brakes trying to avoid other cars or what happened, but I mean, 6 laps to go. That's terrible.
Yeah, after watching one of the OSCA laps of all time on board with Zach, we just had one of the OSCA restarts of all time here. A cluster, just an absolute cluster here on the front stretch. And, I mean, I hope said just one of those tracks. I think it's because it's got a straight front stretch as opposed to like a dog leg, like Atlanta or Texas or something, where you just can't see that far in front of you. So the wrecks just tend to be massive on the restart here.
Yeah, the walls being it's spread out as it is. The walls still feel kind of smothering you because there's just that huge inside wall, and it goes for. It feels like forever. Caution was called on the 67 because he blinked. I feel like that should be net code because that is net code. Speaking of guys getting some luck out of the situation, Noah Brown gets away around.
Oh, he's back in the 1 lap down now.
I would love to see him get another lap, but that's not because he's my pick or anything.
Finish.
I would too, but I would also maybe like to see my Broadcasters Championship have a chance too.
Where's my guy? Javier Gamera, top 15? Okay.
So Clemens has retired from the race after that.
Clemens? Oh, that is a shame. Yeah, maybe he might hop into the Info Care Center. We'll see.
I strongly doubt it, but
don't even see him in his team chat. So I think he is on the last plane.
Yeah.
He's on the last plane out of here.
Well, we look to a 3 to go restart. 2 teammates on the front row, Thomas Capuano and Austin Beers. Neil Rupp, Matt Hackathorn make up row 2 behind them. Santiago Guare, Jake Scarborough, 2 more teammates make up row number 3. Kynan Jones, Justin Dewar, they are row number 4. Adam Peeler, David Westergreen, who we talked to, did not have a chance to win this race. The truck was driving horribly. He now sits inside the top 10. What a day it would be for him to come back from that incident on lap number 1 to maybe have a shot to get a top 5, or if things go as we've seen them go on these last restarts, a chance at a win.
Yeah, I don't think we're done with the shenanigans here just yet. I mean, there's still plenty of trucks who I think are in the front, middle, and rear of this pack who are going to make some aggressive moves on this restart. And let's see another good run for Matt Hackathorn. He's in 4th, finished 4th, half number 1. Kynan Jones running in 8th. Had a good run there in half number 1. Very fast on the long runs, so we'll have to see how good he can be on the short runs here. We're going to have 3 to go at the restart. Pace truck is in through the pit wall once again. Fields in the hands of Thomas Capuano. Good restart there on the bottom. Good restart on the top as well for Austin Beers. It's going to be a drag race into turn number 1 for those two TMR trucks. And so far, so good for the 21. He's going to get the run through the middle. But Austin Beers he's trying to keep that truck on the right rear of that 21. Good run for both of them out of turn number 2. It's going to be a drag race between them. And here comes Matt Hackathorn in the mix.
Neil Rutt also wants a piece of this pie. Thomas Capuano is going to go to the top side. Beers with a huge run on the bottom. Thomas is going to struggle. Neil Rutt's going to get past Matt Hackathorn. He's going to look to pounce on Thomas Capuano for second. Thomas with a run. He's back to the outside of Beers there. 2 by 2 by 2. So we head down to 1 and 2 for the second to last time. 2 to go this time.
Lead change. It was Austin Beers that last lap, but Thomas Capuano is not going to want to keep that the case.
Oh,
Contact here off of turn number 2. There's going to be some sideways action. Everybody was into everybody there, and somehow we kept it all straight. Everybody is still going here, and through 3 and 4, we're going to get the white flag here, Ty. And I think there's about 5-6 trucks that can still win it.
Ooh, loose!
Yeah, Austin Beers washed up the racetrack, gun in front of Tom. Tom's going to get loose that time. Austin Beers will lead the white flag. Matt Hackathorn now looking to fight Thomas Capuano for second. Neil Rutt still looking on. Don't look now. Jake Scarborough into the 5th spot. Austin Beers is going to keep it pretty snug to the bottom. He's going to wash up with no issues this time. Thomas Capuano trying to get past Matt Hackathorn. Not going to happen. Hackathorn's going to have a shot through 3 and 4 at Austin Beers.
The TMR 1, 2, 3 right now, and I don't think that's going to be changing anytime soon unless Neil Rutt can get the world's biggest run out of turn number 4. Here comes Matt Hackathorn trying to make a move out to the outside. Can't make it happen, and it's going to be Austin Beers with the sweep on tonight, and Matt Hackathorn coming home P2, Thomas Capuano P3. That is a TMR 1, 2, 3, followed by Neil Rutt and Dustin Dewar coming home in P5. Good run for that number 32 machine.
Absolutely. I mean, I can fondly say that I don't think we knew who was going to win at the white flag. Austin Beers, Matt Hackathorn, Capuano, and Rutt, they were all over each other. Jake Scarborough did slip down to the 7th spot, so he still finished with a pretty good day. But Austin Beers, TMR sweep for Austin Beers. 2 more wins on the total tonight with the invert. Restarted 20th for half number 2, and not a problem.
I was going to say that's a good point tonight for the TMR trucks. A little bit biased, but I did pay for their entries. You could see them doing some team burnouts there on the front stretch. The 21, 19, and 04. Let's see if James Miller is still on the track. Maybe he was going to get involved here to make it all 4, but I think that truck is pulled off the racetrack. So,
What do you mean?
little track factor there, 3 of the 4.
You're only supposed to have 3 trucks.
So we see them doing that burnout.
TMR's got 4 charters.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Hey, yeah, I have 3 trucks, but that's for a different reason.
Math is hard for Carlos.
I dropped the ball on that one.
As we roll through. Oh, they're blowing up. Thomas Capuano just blew up. Austin Beers already blew up. He's getting a tow to victory lane as we speak. So he will win half number 1 and half number 2.
Damn,
you get a look at your results here.
Oh yeah,
yeah, you're
results.
fine there, pal. Austin Beers wins half number 1 and half number 2. Thomas Capuano will get 3rd. Matt Hackathorn 2nd. Neil Rutt P4. Dusty Dewar comes home 5th. Santiago Gari 6th. Jake Scarborough 7th. David Westergreen comes home with the top 10 after that interview. He did not seem pleased, so I'm sure he will take that with P8. Kynan Jones 9th. Patrick get the top 10 after 3rd last week. What a run for him.
Heel, Zach Evans comes home in P11. Good recovery for him. I mean, he was he had that awful lap where nothing went right, and he was able to make something out of the day. So top 10 in a P11. Good for him. Darren Staff comes home in 12th. Adam Peeler comes home in 13th. James Miller, after the self-spinny ad there, comes home in 14th. Dallas Myhand, it looked pretty good in the beginning. Able to come home with 15th for him. Dylan Thomas, my pick, comes home in P16 after leading about half the race. Just kind of fell apart there at the very end. So, bit of a shame there. David Carpenter comes home in 17th. Gilberto Javier Gomera comes home in P18. Ray Bracey 19th. And Aaron Evans in P20.
21st, Dakota Pignataro. 22nd, Noah Brown. 23rd, AJ Clemens. 24th, Daniel Gore. And 25th, did not start half number 2, Caden Cubs. And with that being said, Cam, I'm going to let you take driver number 3 from the finishing results in half number 2. So, Mr. Thomas Capuano is all yours.
All right, where is he? He's right here. Tom, camera up the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do. How are you?
I'm well. I can't be much better after that second half. I mean, watching my trucks coming home 1, 2, 3. Don't believe that's ever happened. So, heck yeah. I mean, you had a great run there. Led some laps, fighting for the win up there in the closing stages. Tell us about your night.
Oh man, we brought out the red chassis, the red truck today. Just felt like changing it up. Talladega was a little less than ideal. And even though the black truck was working pretty good, I figured I needed something new today. And I got a little bit messed up in the first half because I didn't call out that I was pitting. So I probably would have ended up 8th or 9th in the first half, but yeah, I got the luck of the redraw there for the second half and ran around pretty good and got a lucky yellow, man. I got a very lucky yellow. And we brought this thing home. What was it, 3rd with the other 2 TMR trucks out front. I hate to break it to you, Cam, but me and Beers both blew the motors doing our burnout, so that's gonna cost you a couple bucks. But yeah, pretty pumped to bring the TMR cars 1, 2, 3. Rough day for James, but yeah, pretty awesome. Pretty pumped.
Hey man, 1, 2, 3. You can blow all the motors you want. I mean, but it's fine. They're paperweights at that point. But great run. I know you're not a road course racer, but we do have Watkins Glen up next week. How you feeling about that one?
Gonna be horrible. Gonna be absolutely terrible, horrible. Maybe might even pull a NASCAR in the 90s and pit and find some local talent to take up the reins for the rest of the race. If only we could do that. But I'll be here. Fighting for points. TMR sitting healthily in the team championship, so I'll be here cutting laps. Watkins Glen, last time we were there in trucks, probably be pretty good. Ran decent there last time we were here in trucks, but like you said, not a road course guy at all. Terrible, horrible. Keep it in the trailer. But yeah, be here for you.
And I might be biased, but I love the road courses. Half one's only going to be 9 laps next week, so not too terrible. I think it's going to be like what, 15, 20 minutes if we have no huge accident that requires a caution. So I don't think it'd be too bad. Quick broadcast for us as well. But before we let you go, Tom, you got any shout outs?
Yeah, obviously you. Appreciate you. Appreciate everything you do. Appreciate you, 3 Wide TV for putting the broadcast on. Appreciate everybody that's running the fence line stickers here in OSCA. With Hack, James, Austin, and Plemons running the Fence Line Films media car. Really appreciate all the support from you guys. Really enjoyed the Mud Summer Classic that we did. That was awesome. Love racing OSCA. Really recommend it to anybody else. Recommend it to all my friends. Gonna have another group of people trying out next time the tryouts come around. But yeah. So thank you, Vic. Thank you, 3 Wide TV. Thank you, Cam. Thank you to my teammates for running me good. I thought maybe I might have had a shot at the win, but wasn't meant to be. But just like it was the last time. But pumped to have a good run. So I'll let everybody else get their interviews here. Appreciate everybody here.
Great run tonight, Tom. P3.
Thank you.
Definitely great to see you fighting up there for the win. So. We will see you next week. You will be participating somewhere on the racetrack, maybe with a folding chair out in turn number 9. But definitely good luck next week. And
yeah, maybe we'll paint the truck some outrageous colors again for next week, and maybe it'll turn things around.
Yeah, or paint an asphalt color so it just blends in and nobody will see it. It's always an opportunity.
I'm thinking pink and purple.
I would support it entirely. I love those colors on a race car.
And I just want to say, before I go, Special thank you to my good friend Tyler McIntosh, aka
Why do you
T-Mac,
put the lure on there, man?
aka homie T-Mac. He's the man. He did a great
Shout out
job on the
Tyrone.
broadcast. Gonna go watch it back. And you, Carlos, appreciate you. Appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, Tom.
How cute.
All right, well, we're going to get Santiago Guare up here. He had a fantastic night, obviously, 6th and 9th there for him. So we're going to get him up here. Santi!
Oh! Hi, guys.
Hi, buddy. Time for the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
We wanted to feature you because you had a really good night. It's 9th and half number 1, 6th and half number 2.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it's not the night that you've had recently, and you've deserved this. And, you know, we look on board and you're always locked in. So, buddy, I mean, in all the chaos, your teammates got together. You know, I want to know what happened in the Discord, but I will digress on that for right now. Just walk us through your night.
When it oh man, I'll start off with that because that was actually kind of funny. So me and Jake, I think we were like pretty close together, so we were just running doing our own thing. Out of nowhere, I think we're like down the front straightaway.
Yeah.
And Daniel just starts like, he just starts screaming. I'm just like, oh.
Oh no.
And I hear Noah make his little groaning sound that he makes. Yeah.
Can you make the sound?
Oh man. Oh, you're putting me on the spot. Okay. Oh. Oh man, yeah, but yeah, that was something. That was something I had playing in my head the rest of the night. So, yeah, but you know, it was great. I don't know what I did to pull off. I had not done any practice before tonight. I probably hopped on like an hour before practice for the race open. And I was just testing there by myself, trying to find different lines, trying to see what worked. I was struggling. But once we were in the practice session, kind of looking at what everybody else was doing, kind of got the hang of it a little bit, and we were up to speed pretty quick. The only like little complaint I have, my tire saving could have been better, but I feel like it was there. It's better than it was when I first joined the league. So I'm happy with that. Homestead's not really one of my good tracks. I'm just really happy I had a good night here.
All right, buddy. Well, I know tire saving was an issue for everybody. Homestead is an actual like crapshoot with tire saving, but I would certainly say did pretty good. Redux looked really good all night. Jake had a pretty good night. He was up there making his way through the field. And,
yeah.
I think I know you've maybe not had the greatest luck, and I think you've missed a couple races. But do you think you might have a shot to make a push at the playoff bubble, or are you already in there? Am I blind?
From what I saw, I think I was 13 points out. I think I was like 14th in points before going into the night. Probably, yeah, I think like 13 points out. So I'm not too sure if we clinched that or anything because there weren't many people that had issues. I don't know exactly who I was fighting for the playoff spot, so I'll have to take a look at that whenever that comes out. But I feel like if I keep doing what I've been doing these past couple weeks and finishing up here, then yeah, we could have a real shot at making it in.
I know we got Watkins Glen and Indy. Watkins Glen is going to be a huge track for you guys. You guys are always good at road courses, and Indianapolis is kind of going to be a toss-up in the trucks, especially with how wide open it is. So
yeah.
I know you're probably looking maybe more to gain points at Watkins Glen than Indy. But
yeah, hopefully.
It's going to be exciting, man. You guys are putting on a good show with the points battles and everything, and it's going to be a toss-up. So we look forward to hopefully hearing from you again. And anybody you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, you know, the boys at Redux are great. Such a team effort that these guys put on. It's amazing. Just being able to talk to these guys every day and go over data and stuff like that. You know, all of our sponsors, they're all really cool people. Actually, Cam has helped me out tremendously this season. Kind of helping me like understand data and stuff like that. So really appreciate him. And last but not least, Genesis. She's watching every night we do this and nice that we get to put on a show for.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck. I know you're going to be a name that we're probably going to be hearing a lot of in the next couple weeks. So, good luck and keep your teammates in order, man. Don't let them do that. That's not good.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. I don't know. I don't have too much control, so.
I don't know, man. You're definitely the head honcho. So do a little more work out there, buddy. All right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
All right. That was 6th place finisher in half number 2, Santiago Gore. And I believe Cam is standing by with driver number 2 of the 1-2-3 for TMR, Mr. Matt Hackett.
Yes, sir. I got him here. Well, he was previously the 1-armed bandit. Now the 1.5-armed bandit is, or 1 3/4, one of those 2 fractions. Matt Hackathorn, got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I believe, other than Austin Beers, you had the best average finish on tonight with a P3 average finish between your 2 halves. Tell us about your night. How were you able to get that truck hooked up so well?
Well, in the first half, it was just basically just focusing on trying to save tires while those guys raced. It didn't really pay off beforehand, so I just tried a bit of strategy, and it relatively backfired. I wasn't able to get through traffic as fast as I needed to make sure Beers didn't have his 2 fresh laps before he was back on my bumper. So I just kind of fell back to where I was comfortable and held on for dear life because I didn't realize 1 lap of difference compared to everybody else was going to equal almost 2/10 of being loose off of every corner. But then in the second half, I honestly thought I was in trouble. I was just hanging out like 20th, and then the caution started happening. I went from 20th to 14th after the first caution, went from 14th to 7th after that, then from 7th to 4th, and then the whole shenanigans happened on that last bit, and just basically drove as hard as I could. I mean, it's nice having, 3/4 more of an arm. I don't have to sit there and focus on not oversteering with just the left hand anymore. So try to put on a good show. I don't know why I didn't try to dive Beers as hard as I could, but I don't know. Ask myself questions now. Can't ask myself questions in the moment, but I'll take a P2, and I gave it all I could. Gave him a little rub off of 4 to try to get him a bit loose to drag race him, but just didn't quite have enough.
Well, you've been putting in some pretty good runs as of late. Some of the bad luck has seemed to go away. We got Watkins Glen and Indy coming up next. I know that you tend to sometimes like the road courses. How you feeling about those 2?
I feel pretty good about Watkins Glen. I'm still on the fence with these 1.5 miles because I don't know where I found all this speed from. Maybe it's from being hurt or whatever, but these last 2 weeks I've really found something. I don't know if it'll translate to Indianapolis, but I feel confident enough in road racing for, possibly a top 5, at least a upper top 10. I don't think I'm going to win anything before the chase, but if I keep going like this, I can point myself in, which will be fantastic.
Well, I'd say that's a pretty good possibility if you keep running like the way you did tonight. Yeah, looking at the rest of the schedule, we have some road courses. We have Charlotte, New Hampshire, Nashville. So a lot of varied tracks coming up. So it'll be interesting to see how everybody kind of fares with that before we let you go. You got any shout outs for us?
I gotta thank you, of course, my team owner, even though I'm sure you're trying your best not to gloat that you just got a nice little sweep there in the second race. Gotta thank Vic and everyone for putting this on. Carlos and 3YTV for streaming this for us all. Really gotta say Race OSCA. I mean, I enjoy the heck out of this league, and that's why I keep coming back every year. It's worth every penny that we spend on it. If you guys want good quality racing, come go check out Race OSCA on Twitter. Well, X.
That's Twitter.
Whatever. Twitterks.
Well, thank you for that. Yep, we'll go ahead and let you go. And I think last up is going to be another TMR interview. Ty, I believe you are catching up with Austin Beers.
Oh, yes, sir. I got him right here. Mr. Austin Beers, Mr. Sweep of the Night, completing the TMR 1-2-3. We saw you obviously qualify second, so you were quick all day. Buddy, how do you feel going into the playoffs? I mean, you're all but locking yourself in.
Feel good. Obviously we go to Watkins Glen next week, so I'm super excited about that, if you can't tell by the sarcasm. But no, it was a great night. Proud of Team Mixture Rich and how everybody performed. Just kind of did not expect to win at all, honestly, with, you know, pitting for 2 to try to jump Plemons there, and as soon as I'm coming out of pit road, the yellow comes out right in the middle of the pit cycle, so I'm like, well, we're done. And then, you know, just got kind of lucky with how restart shaped out. Obviously, sorry to Dylan, even though, you know, he came down, and I just didn't expect him to keep coming down, honestly. He started in like the fifth groove and just kept coming down, but I hate it that I wrecked him and, you know, other guys coming through the pack. But yeah, just definitely excited about sweeping. It's not something you do often, or I think it's, you know, it's very rare, obviously. So when you do it, it's definitely a special night.
Absolutely, and I mean, we've seen, you know, South Shore has done it, and now you are able to do it yourself, and you know, it's something that we've seen a lot of you here in OSCA. I mean, you normally have at least one good half, and even when you miss races, I mean, you're always up towards the front of the point. So it's been cool to see that you continue to do it week in and week out, and it's been really impressive. Especially, I didn't know that you were on 2 tires, so that was even more impressive. I saw you wiggle a little bit. That explains a lot because you were extremely loose on a 1 and 2. So that'll do it.
Yeah, I was very free. I was actually yelling at Tom that I'm coming up, watch out, because I was I was sideways at it too. But no, he gave me room, and I honestly, before that last restart, I thought I wasn't gonna be any good. So I was like, well, Tom, I'll just play blocker for you, and we'll get you a win. And then, you know, I just had enough grip, I guess, and you know, he kind of went to the middle or the top, and I was able to just roll the bottom, and it ended up working out. But a Team Mixed Rich 1, 2, 3 to end half number 2 is pretty special.
Absolutely. I know Cam's got a work call, but you guys were absolutely fantastic all night, and you guys have been really good all season. It's been a 3-way fight between you guys, Redux, and South Shore, and I don't think that's going to end anytime soon. But anybody else you want to shout out other than the TMR guys and everybody for getting you up here?
Yeah, obviously, Hacks Discord, Black Flag Podcast, Troy Race Cars, The Joy of Seating, Fenceline Film, Tom's Capuano. He's, you know, does great stuff on YouTube. Shark Lounge, Team Mixture Rich, you guys for doing the broadcast every week, doing a great job. Love you know, watching these back on Friday during lunch at work. Just, you know, something to do, and you know, you guys do an amazing job, and just you know, everybody in OSCA who just keeps coming back week in, week out, and you know, we're running really good races. Obviously, towards the second half, towards the end, kind of got sloppy, but I mean, we usually average probably, and you know, on these mile and a halves, we usually go green and checkered for the first half, and then second half people get more brave, I guess, and you know, they want their good finishes. But no, it's just really enjoy running OSCA. Obviously we miss it. I miss it here and there with real life racing, but I should have a couple championships under my belt. But you know, obviously real life racing gets in the way, but that's good. And hopefully this year, with I don't think I have anything scheduled for any of these races, so should be able to compete for the championship. Just depending on how, you know, obviously with the eliminations going in these playoffs, and a lot of fast guys with Gore and all them, and Plemons, and you know, just everybody that we race against. It's not easy to do what happened tonight. So when it happens, obviously, like I said, it's special, and you gotta, you know, enjoy it. But we go to Watkins Glen, I'm sure I'll be pissed off next week. But so just enjoy this one, and go to Watkins Glen, try to be consistent, maybe get 2 top 10s. I'll be happy with that, and roll into the playoffs.
Absolutely, but I think that's one thing that we're all looking at is the unknowns of this new playoff format with eliminations every week, and it's going to throw some uncertainty in there, but I'm sure you're going to be one of the guys that comes out on top. So good luck to you, and hopefully we'll hear from you a little bit more throughout the end of the season.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
That was half 1 and number 2 winner, Mr. Austin Beers, and Cam is away on a business call, but we have had a fantastic night of OSCA racing at Homestead, Miami. It's been great for the 3Y TV 120, of course, as well. Austin Beers takes both halves, and we see TMR dominate half number 2 in a night of fantastic racing, and a lot of storylines to follow out of this. And of course, we will be back next week as we go to Watkins Glen for some left and right turns. as we look to further cement the playoff picture before we head to Indianapolis to round up the regular season. But same time next week, Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 3Wide TV. For Carlos Acosta, Cameron Rich, I am Ty McIntosh. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a good rest of your night.